This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Hi friends, and welcome back to Bells with Books. I, of course, am Miranda, and this month we're going to dive into all things mystery and thriller. We've got some twisty plots, maybe things that keep us way too late, deciding if we loved it or hate it. But you know what? I can't make those decisions alone because that would be boring, even for me. So I, of course, am always joined by my lovely, beautiful, wonderful friend, Bianca.
Hello.
Hello. How are you enjoying this shift? I feel like we have a weather discussion in every other podcast, and that's okay. But so how are you doing with this lovely, if you would like to say that, shift in crazy weather?
This is not November weather for Florida.
No.
And for the South in general. I feel like everyone has this perception in the U.S. that like January to April is like winter/spring, where you're getting into thawing, and then May through like, I don't know, maybe June, July is like the hot season, and then August to October should be fall, and then October to December is white winter, Christmas time for like, I think that's how people perceive weather in the US.
Yes.
That is not true for the South.
No.
Our coldest weather is typically January.
Well, it depends
March.
on where you are in the South. I will add that caveat.
Yeah, that is true. Like the deep South, like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida.
Right.
Like January to March, those are our cold seasons. That's why I never figured out why people freak out about coming to spring break in Florida. I'm like, that's the cold time, but okay. Unless you go to like South Florida.
Well, because it's warm for everybody. Because I used to be a Panama City Beach spring breaker, and it was warm compared to what I had.
Nah, it's cold. But we are having a very unusual cold spell for November here in North Florida, and nobody is happy about it.
Yeah.
And y'all are getting snow.
Yeah, and I'm not, for those of you that don't know, I am no longer in the Czech Republic. That statement would probably have been like adequate for, living over in Europe this time of year. We sometimes have snow, but no, I am back in the land of the United States of America, and I'm temporarily staying in my hometown in southern Kentucky, and it snowed all day yesterday, and it is like 24 degrees today. Yeah. When I got off that plane, I won't lie though, Bianca, we landed in Atlanta, and we walked out the doors, and I was like still dressed because it was cold. It was already cold over there. Like, we got stuck overnight in Amsterdam. It was cold there. So like I was dressed for like the cool,
Yeah.
And Caden and I hit Atlanta, and we walked out those doors to like physically be in like the world. And Caden goes, "Oh my God, what is that?" And the guy, we had a porter that was helping us because he had so many bags and the dogs and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, humidity. You probably haven't had much of that while you've been gone, have you?" And I was like, "No."
You immediately turned into a fish.
Immediately, my shirt was sticking to my back. I was like, "Oh." So I went from that. It's been like really like beautiful fall, nice, to like, then it gets really cold, and all of a sudden it's warm, and now it's really cold, and it's supposed to be warm again. And that's why I sound like this.
You're really not bad.
I feel like it's worse. Like, I know I probably don't sound as bad to you guys as I do to myself, but like, I feel like it's pretty yucky.
Well, I'm glad you're well enough to record, because we do have quite a bit to cover today.
We do. And speaking of being back in the States, I found a really cool thing that we won't really spend a whole lot of time on, but I just thought it was really neat to bring up. This is from bookgirlsguide.com. We'll put the link in the show notes, but they have a list of books for every state, which I thought was really cool. I've talked before about how there's some of my favorite authors that the reason I found them or fell in love with them is because they are, from Kentucky. Their settings are in Kentucky. Tanya Kappas is one that I've mentioned multiple times. And I just thought this was a really cool list. I don't remember how I found it. Instagram, TikTok, probably. But it
I don't know. I just opened the doc one day and I saw it and I was like, oh, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. I just thought it was something like really neat, like nothing like huge to discuss. Like it might be something cool for us to use to make ideas for later episodes. Like maybe we'll cover a book from each state, not in order. That would be boring. Like for us, at least for us. But like it could be something cool. And I will say I was excited because I clicked on the Kentucky list and whoever made this list did include Tanya. And I was like, you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't have her books on there because every single one of them is set in Kentucky.
And I do like that the Florida list, it encompasses not just beach stuff, which I really appreciate because Florida is more than just tourist beaches.
I did look at that and I was like, is this going to be like a bunch of beach reads?
But it's not.
It's not. It's really cool.
There's a couple of nonfiction books on there, which I also appreciate.
Yeah. So yeah, and then they even have a section on there for U.S. territory books and then traveling across America. So fantastic job I'd also, I hate to say I'd never heard of the Book Girls Guide website before. So I'll be checking more of that out, but I really thought that was something that everybody might be interested in. We have a couple more links and guides that we will be sharing with you today. But first, we have just our general book news, which I'm going to basically let Bianca take the most of because I think all of this is from you.
You're welcome. Okay. So we are getting a new Six of Crows story from Leigh Bardugo. It is called A Darker Shore. I was trying to see when it was supposed to come out, and I don't see it on her website. But it's a new Grishaverse short story, a mystery told through found documents and set after the events of Crooked Kingdom. It is currently available for pre-order from Amazon and Target and Barnes & Noble and pretty much everywhere. In the years since the violent upheaval caused by the auction of Kuwait Yalbu, the merchants of Ketterdam have been under attack. Secret businesses exposed, ships sunk, slavers hunted, all the work of a mysterious sea captain and her ship, the Wraith. And now 2 investigators meet to uncover the truth behind the latest disaster, a massacre on an island off the shores of Ketterdam. So if you are a huge Grishaverse fan, you have something to be excited about. Congratulations.
That's cool. I do wonder if it's going to be like heavily edited because, you actually were telling us and like our personal friends group the other day about like how some of these books are like edited now, like things have been removed.
Because the 10-year anniversary of Six of Crows is coming up and they wanted to put out a special edition in honor of the anniversary. And which I've never read Six of Crows. It's on my list. I'm sorry, guys. But I do know from people getting arcs and stuff like that, one, she has aged up the characters to where they're no longer really YA. It's more new adult, which I understand why she did that because back when Six of Crows came out, new adult wasn't really like a thing. It was just emerging if it was. So like I understand why it was put in YA, but also I think changing their ages also kind of diminishes everything they went through because while I never read it, like I still know like the basic gist of the story just from reading.
I have read it and I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Because like it's supposed to be kind of traumatic because they are like teenagers and young adults,
right?
So like I get it, but at the same time I'm like, why didn't you just write a new story? So like I see both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
And then she's also supposedly changing other plot points, but I cannot speak to that. I do know that the ages of the characters have been changed though.
Yeah.
So. Next bit of book news, we are getting a new book from our resident D&D queen girly Christy Boyce. Roles and Rivalry is coming out May 5th, 2026. I've got it pulled up here. Roll the dice, strike up the band, and get ready for a swoon-worthy summer. A charming gaming romance that blends the magic of D&D with the camaraderie of band camp. Ha ha ha. This is going to be right up my alley. I'm so excited. I love the cover of this one. It is a girl and a guy in band uniforms, and she has the the flags that they toss around, and there's a dog
like
carrying
color guard.
Color guard. And it's yellow, and it just looks, it looks so cute. If you haven't read Christy Boyce, she makes really, really cute, very innocent little YA romance books. Mm-hmm. And they all focus, I won't say focus, but they heavily involve D&D.
Yes, they do.
So
I got
can't wait.
I've gotten an arc of a couple of hers from NetGalley, and I enjoyed both of them.
They're just so sweet and cute and innocent.
Yes.
And then, what else do we have? Oh, the Goodreads Choice Awards open today. They open today, November 11th. We are recording on Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. But they open today for first round voting. Go cast your votes for your favorites. I went ahead and cast my votes this morning.
As they dwindle down in the past, Bianca and I have not initially, because initially there's so many options.
Oh yeah.
But as they start narrowing down, Bianca and I will pick our votes when we record together, but not in the opening round. Too much.
There are way too many options right now. But one thing I did notice, you have started reading Freida McFadden. She has 3 books available in this year's voting.
Oh my goodness. I'm on my second, Freida. If you want updates on that, check out our TikTok. I talk about it. I talk about it on there. I figure I do it enough on there. So
yeah. And now we're going to move into Adaptation Minute, because there are quite a few adaptation announcements. We're not going to cover them all because we got other stuff to talk about, y'all. But first we have The Lying Game by Ruth Ware adaptation. It's in the works at Amazon with Suzanne Heathcote, Ted Gold, and Susan Rovner. Mm-hmm. While the book itself is published in just regular adult fiction, it does heavily focus on, I don't want to say children, I guess adolescents, because they're not little kids, but they're also not older teens. So I'll say adolescents. But they're penning the TV show as YA. So I'm going to be interested to see how that works out, because it's told from both the point of view of adolescents and adults. Mm-hmm. But they're just calling it a YA series.
Which I won't lie, I struggled when I first saw the adaptation news, because there was Sarah Shepard had written a Lying Game that they had already tried to adapt once before. And I was like, what? And then I saw Ruth Ware and I was like, oh, different.
Have you read the Lying Game, Ruth Ware?
I haven't read the Ruth Ware one. I do like Ruth Ware, but I got it from the library the other day, but I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, I do like this one. It's very twisty-turny. It's one of those where you never really know who's telling the truth.
You think you know, and then you don't, and then you do, but you don't.
Yeah. Which, if I remember correctly, although I never really got into Pretty Little Liars, I would put it kind of in that category.
Well, she has a book series, the same lady, Sarah Shepard. That's what I was talking about. She has another series called The Lying Game.
Yeah.
So I thought it was another one of those. And so that's kind of cool that Ruth Ware did something similar, because Lying Game by Sarah Shepard is also very similar to Pretty Little Liars. It's just a little, obviously it's enough different that it, it's, you don't get bored, but you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Pretty similar. Pretty similar.
Just some backstory about who's working on this. Suzanne Heathcote, she has previously worked on Killing Eve, and Apple TV's The Crowded Room. And Heathcote also recently worked on The Thursday Murder Club with Netflix. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I like that book series. I like the guy that's the author. I liked him individually on his own. I knew who he was before he wrote the books. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my God, he wrote a book. So yeah, they did a really good job with the movie. I liked it a lot.
Okay. I'll have to check it out. It keeps coming up on my, you would like this. And I was like, I probably would, but I don't have time right now.
You liked Knives Out, right?
Yeah.
And you sometimes like a cozy mystery. So I think you would like it.
Okay.
I think you'd like it.
Next, we have The Inheritance Games. Y'all, I'm so excited about
I am excited. I genuinely didn't think it would take this long, to be honest with you.
I loved that series.
So
Which
good.
there's more that have come out since I finished the original trilogy.
Yeah, same. I haven't read past
the
just
other
the
one.
first 3.
But it is a YA series adaptation in the works at Lionsgate Television. Go away, ad. I'm trying to read. Rude. Okay. The project will be executive produced by Temple Hill Entertainment, who was in charge of the Twilight Saga, the Maze Runner trilogy, and The Fault in Our Stars.
So they know what they're doing, basically.
Let's see. The book series has sold over 6 million copies worldwide. I know because it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, tell me who's doing what. It doesn't really tell me. That's rude. Okay, well, that's all we know is that it's in the works. So it's like, let's try that again. It is officially being made. It's not just optioned. They are officially working on it.
Yeah, we're past that.
Yeah. And then the final bit is that Nicholas Sparks and M. Night Shyamalan's new book, Remain, is also being greenlit. It is going to be starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Phoebe Divner from Bridgerton.
Listen, I haven't read this book, but I'm really, and you know why I haven't? I'm struggling. What do you mean, Nicholas Sparks and M. Night Shyamalan? Like, who ends of the spectrum? What do you mean?
I want to know who called who.
Exactly. Like, how did this go down? Like, who was in the, like, it is like the room where it happened, right? Like, what in the, like, no, if you told me, like, M. Night Shyamalan and Stephen King are pairing up, or I'd be like, okay. And if you were like, Nicholas Sparks is pairing up with, I don't know, Nora Roberts, I'd be like, okay, but what?
Oh, wait, I actually just found it. So the Hollywood Reporter has an article about it. And it says, a long time ago when we had the original script of The Notebook that was written by Jan Sardi, the studio and I decided, hey, we're going to get another writer and we're going to start from scratch. He's going to revise it the way we want it. One of the writers we went to was a young, largely unknown screenwriter, M. Night Shyamalan. Though the now supernatural aficionado was approached to help write the script for The Notebook, Sparks says he passed because he was getting ready to do other things like The Sixth Sense.
Listen, but now you can't give me an M. Night Shyamalan movie and be like, oh, it's just this beautiful love story. I'm sorry. No. You don't get to do that. Don't get to do that. I don't.
And I will personally not take any M. Night Shyamalan slander, okay?
No.
The Village is one of my top 5 movies of all time.
Same. If you didn't get it, that's on you.
Yeah.
These people are like, it didn't make sense. And I'm like, that's on you.
Yeah.
I got it. Just saying.
Now I need to rewatch The Village.
Same. So good.
So good. Okay, but so they started working on like something and they didn't really know what it was, and they figured out that it was a book, and now that original story ended up becoming the book Remain. And it's going to be a film starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Phoebe Divner. The story centers on New York architect Tate Donovan, who is eager for a fresh start after losing his sister and travels to Cape Cod to design his best friend's summer home. However, when he takes up residence at a bed and breakfast, he encounters a beautiful young woman named Wren who will challenge every assumption he has had about his logical and controlled world. Well, of course, that's Phoebe.
That's great, but can we have the house be haunted? Because, like...
Let's see. Forging an immediate connection, the two begin learning about each other while helping free themselves from the darkness that has impacted their lives. Goes on to talk about fate and the stories we tell themselves, the laws that govern our existence. Love, while transformative, can sometimes be frightening. Oh, it says that though the novel chronicles a blossoming love story, readers can still expect unease, scares, and a twist that may or may not be the same in the film as in the book. You have to read the one and watch the other to know exactly, Nicholas Spark teases.
Well, I think we have a podcast future episode on our hands.
That makes me excited because I was on the fence about reading it, but now I'm like, yeah, I need to read this.
Yeah, you read that to me, and I'm now going to do it. But I feel like that would make a really good episode where we read the book and then watch the movie and discuss. Yeah. Okay. Well, the movie's not even out. We got a while, but I'm just saying, great idea for future Miranda to forget and then remember.
Right. Add it to our list down at the bottom of our doc.
I will.
The last thing that we're going to do for Adaptation Minute is I went to see Regretting You in theaters. It was so good. It was much better than the It Ends With Us adaptation. So much better.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised, but you know, that's what it is. It is what it is.
They stayed really true to the book. There were a couple of differences, but they weren't huge, major plot changing, anything like that. And all of the actors did very well. I'd see it again. I'm probably going to buy the DVD of that one.
Nice.
It was really good. She does have, this isn't on the list, but her next one is Reminders of Him, comes out in March. It's also going to be a theatrical release. And Verity comes out sometime next year too.
That's the only one I'm interested in. Let's do it. That's what I'm here for. Because I want people that are new to this
very adaptation
to have the debate. Which I feel like I can say what the debate is here.
Because I know they wrapped filming, because Anne Hathaway did a thing on TikTok or Instagram or something saying they had finished. When does it come out?
I don't know. I feel like this is not a spoiler thing, but this is I'm waiting for
October 2nd, 2026. Okay.
So
next October.
Okay, yeah. And for spooky season, perfect. I think we're gonna have a whole new crew of manuscript versus letter.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I am like dying. I had a friend the other day that was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about buying Verity." I was like, "You should." It was my sister-in-law. I was like, "You should." And when you do, I need to know. When you get to the end, you're gonna have an opinion one way or other, and I need to know what that opinion is, and then we're gonna have maybe argument or discussion. I don't know. Both of my sister-in-laws are big readers, so woo-woo.
Lucky you.
I know.
Claim me as a sister-in-law.
I mean, I took you as a child a long time ago, if you remember. There was this whole discussion of, I'm your mother now.
No, you're me, Mom Miranda.
Oh, Mom, yeah. Well, since I am a Mima and I love mystery and thriller so much, as I mentioned earlier, we both have mystery/thriller books that we chose individually. So we have separate books this month. And Bianca found a really cool article from Book Riot, who does great articles a lot. I wish I had their talent with this. That is, what is the difference between mystery, suspense, and thriller novels? Because I feel like people just think they're all the same thing, and they're not. So do you want to kind of like break down the differences between mystery, thriller, and suspense for everybody?
I can. So I'm trying to think where to start. So I think the big overarching genre that you can lump them all under is mystery, because they all have something that you're trying to figure out. So I would say the mystery genre has subgenres, and those subgenres would be thriller and suspense. So and cozy, because now we have cozy mysteries too. We do exploded in the last, Absolutely. I'd say 10 to 15 years. So if you're wondering what the three differences are, a mystery traditionally follows a detective of some sort. Either they're an amateur or professional, and they are attempting to solve a crime. Mm-hmm. The reader usually follows the detective. They're going to be your main character, and they are discovering clues along with any side characters. They typically don't get in any real danger or harm, and they are completely disconnected from the crime, like they know nothing.
Yeah.
A good example of this would be Sherlock Holmes, especially in the first couple of books. You see him just solving things.
Right. And to to add to that, because Bianca did bring up cozy mystery, kind of the caveat, what makes a cozy difference is they are usually always an amateur sleuth of some sort. Like, sleuthing is not their main profession. They are, in a lot of cases, like a coffee shop owner, a librarian, something like that. And the murder itself usually takes place off the page. Like they just stumble upon the body, not the murder itself. So that's where, when you're talking about mystery, what makes it different in a mystery, just a regular mystery, and a cozy mystery.
Yeah. Now, thrillers take all of those basic tenets of a mystery novel, but you add an element of danger of some sort. Mm-hmm. So whether they're, I don't know. I guess like you could be, what do they use for examples? You have Dexter from the television show Dexter. That would be a good one. And I would say that the TV adaptation of Sherlock Holmes, you could put that in thriller.
And I would even say, this is cheesy funny, but I would even say that the TV show Psych, because he's not your traditional like detective, right? He's not, but he often the two of them often get put in very dangerous situations that if it was just a basic mystery, they would not. And
the main protagonists, they also tend to have like some specialized knowledge. So like in your example in Psych, he is very observant. Like he sees things other people don't because his father like raised him to be that way.
Right.
So those protagonists are going to be very good at something that helps them solve whatever's going on, but they're going to be in danger while doing it.
Right.
Okay. Now, suspense. This is where you have so mysteries and thrillers are told from the point of view or the perspective of the protagonist. The narration in suspense stories tends to be not that. Suspense tends to be told from a way where you know more than the protagonist. Mm-hmm. And like it'll be like omniscient, or you'll have multiple perspectives going on. That way you know something that another character doesn't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. A good example of that is Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. I can agree with that. I've read that one. But any of them that are told from different time perspectives as well, where you go back and forth between like a past character and their current day character, that's probably a suspense novel. Mm-hmm. So they all have the element of mystery, but they're all slightly different in how they tell that mystery.
Yes. So with that being said, let's get into our book discussions, Miranda. Yeah. So, because I know how yours turned out for you, do you want me to go first, or would you like to go first?
I'll go first. That way we can just get mine out of the way.
Okay. So first, is yours classified as a mystery, a thriller, or both?
I would say mine is not a mystery because we're not really solving anything. I would say mine is a combination of thriller and suspense.
Okay.
So I did Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll.
Yeah.
This was a New York Times bestseller. It was raved about for a while a few years ago. When was this published? I remember when it came out and people were losing their minds. 2015. Oh, it's 10 years old.
Older than I thought it was, to be honest with you.
There's even a movie adaptation on Netflix. No, I have not watched it. Will you watch it, Bianca? Probably not.
I think for science, you have to.
I think I gave this a 2.5 stars on Fable.
Oh, even the book of mine that I raved about and you didn't like, you gave it higher than that.
I did not like this book, y'all. And it's not because the plot was bad. It wasn't because the writing was bad. The plot itself was good. The writing was good. I stayed engaged in what was going on. The main character is the worst person that I have ever read about in my entire life.
It has a 3.5 on Goodreads, just so everyone knows.
It was insufferable. It was so bad.
She texted me.
Y'all.
You're like, I don't remember exactly what you said. I could probably scroll up and find it. But essentially, it was like along the lines of like, I hate my book. Like, it was very like to the point. He was like, I hate my book. I was like, do you want to pick something else? And she's like, well, I'm in it now. I'm going to do it now.
It was a pretty easy read. It's not really, how many pages is this?
This
I
is
have the
338.
hardcover. Okay, yeah.
It's 338 on Goodreads.
I've had this book for a while. I got it in the bargain bin at Barnes & Noble once upon a time for like $5. The main character is terrible. Just so I'm not even going to do a typical deep dive like I would normally do. Let me just read you the synopsis real quick. Her perfect life is a perfect lie. As a teenager at the prestigious Bradley School, Ani, it's pronounced Ani, not Annie.
I wondered.
Ani Finelli endured a shocking public humiliation that left her desperate to reinvent herself. Now, with a glamorous job, expensive wardrobe, and handsome blue blood fiancé, she's this close to living the perfect life she's worked so hard to achieve. But Ani has a secret. There's something else buried in her past that still haunts her. Something private and painful that threatens to bubble to the surface and ruin everything. The question remains, will breaking her silence destroy all that she's worked for, or will it at long last set Ani free? So the main premise of the book is that she's a small town girl who has moved to, I want to say it's New York if I remember correctly. She's living her big old glamorous life. She's an editor for a women's magazine. She specifically works in the, like a sex column, giving sex advice. And she does it very cheekily. And she does it in a way where people take her seriously. And she has all these aspirations to move up and become like a, quote, real writer, not what she's doing now. She is engaged to this gorgeous man who basically worships her. But she is like a spoiled brat. There's no other way to put it. And I don't really know why she is that way, because it is told from her past self point of view and her current self point of view. And there's a lot of flashbacks and fast forwards and all that good stuff. But we know that something has happened in her past at a high school that she attended, but the reader doesn't know what happened. But it made national news, whatever it was, and a documentary film crew wants her to come and tell her side of the story. But whatever it was that happened, it forced her to change her name. I think her original name was Tiffany, and now she goes by Ani. She wants to completely separate herself from everything that happened. I don't want to say what happened, just in case anyone else does want to read it, because you don't
going to do like a spoiler free,
because you don't really know what happened until like the very end of the book.
So it would definitely spoil.
Yeah. I will say a trigger warning because I was not prepared. I did not know how this was going to go down and what was going to go down. So I will say a trigger warning for anything related to school violence. Okay. Think like 13 Reasons Why.
Gotcha.
Like, so if anything that happened on that TV show or in that book bothers you, do not read this book. I need to put that out there because I was not prepared. But another thing that I was also not prepared for was the very blatant, I don't know how to put this. There's no couth way to say anything with this woman, because on page 8, I thought it was page 4, but it's page 8. So I'm still in the first chapter of the book. I'm just meeting this character, and this,
right.
I'm trying to find the exact phrase, but it was something along the lines of, I can't find it. But it's somewhere in the first chapter. She's like, I really love my fiance, but his idea of a good time in the bedroom is just like yanking my hair, and my idea of a good time is getting electrocuted with a ball gag in my mouth. And
that's
I was
right.
Like,
that's this book. I forgot. Oh my God.
I was like, girl, we just met. Can you wait a couple chapters before telling me that? So that's how the book starts.
Yeah. I mean, I've read some way further out there stuff, and I'm like, seriously? When you sent that message in our group chat, I was like, dang, is she in a no-no book? Like, what's happening?
Well, see, and it really wasn't a no-no book, but that's just how this character thinks and talks and treats other people.
Who she really is from people? Is that what I'm?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I was figured was happening here. It's like she is open and honest with people to say, like, actually, I'm into something different. Like,
and throughout the book, even from her childhood, she morphs into whatever people want out of her. So you never really know like who she truly is. And she's just a horrible person anyway. So that's all I'm going to say about my book.
Is that okay? Well, I'll talk a little bit. Well, this might be a shorter episode than normal. And you know what? That is okay. That is completely okay. So I marched into a territory that I don't know if Bianca is actually ever going to read this book or not. We read book 1. This is technically I guess it could now be classified as a duology, but I don't think that initially that was the author's plan. Do you know what episode that was that we
That was early. It was one of our February episodes.
Yeah. We wanted to do something different. I think the first February we were recording, and we did the perfect. We knew it wasn't like a love story. Like that was the whole point of our plan, boys and girls. But we did Jeneva Rose's The Perfect Marriage, and we had a lot of things to say about it.
That was a long episode.
It was a long episode. I highly recommend you go listen to it. I will say, go ahead and spoilers for that episode because it has been out for so long now, is that I actually did end up becoming a Jeneva fan, even though like that book, it was one of those, like I've grown up in the police world. My dad was a detective for many years, police officer for many years since I was very little before he passed. I worked for the police department for a while. My father-in-law was a police officer in Chicago. So like, I'm not new to this world. And there was a lot of things that were so wrong. And there were some law office things that are also like, Bianca and I were like, no. But I give Jeneva credit, and she listened to what everyone had to say. She I believe she talked to some lawyers. I don't want to get that wrong. I know she went to a police department. She did a ride along. She interviewed them, and she came back and gave us a news story in the same world, continuing, and it is called The Perfect Divorce.
What would you classify this as for your genres?
I think it is a thriller because there are people in danger in the book. There are people in danger. It's definitely a mystery, but I'd also say it's even suspense because you're trying to figure out like, and Goodreads classifies it as all as well. I wish we had a term for when it was all,
all of them.
Yeah, all of them. These have different, it has different point of view. So we go back and forth between our two main characters to include like some side characters. We get some chapters for some side characters that for a few chapters, the title at the top instead of the name is just unknown because you are not supposed to know who this is talking. I say she did a much better job with this one. I will say that. I will say there was stuff that I thought I had it figured out, and I did not have it figured out. And then there were other things that I was like, I saw that coming because.
Now, let me ask if I remember correctly. I feel like The Perfect Marriage, I feel like it was perfectly wrapped up to me. It didn't really leave like a loose end, if I remember correctly.
It did, but it didn't because if you remember, no spoilers, but the person that goes to jail in that book for the murder in that book is not who did it.
Yeah.
There are other people that could have been blamed for it that also didn't do it, but there's evidence that it could have been them as well.
Okay.
And
this covers that aspect of it.
It brings all of that back up to include a whole new set of murder and problems.
Oh, okay.
So the book kind of opens. I'm gonna go like spoiler free, but I'm gonna give some like what the story delivers without and what stood out, who might enjoy it, that kind of thing. So the book opens on Sarah, who we left. Adam. I think I can go ahead and spoil it. It's the perfect marriage, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so we ended off the perfect marriage where Adam is in jail. Sarah is living her glorious new life with Gross Bob. Well, that's what Bianca and I called him. With Gross Bob and, doing her new thing. So we now have this book opening on Sarah. She's in her marriage with Bob. She's in a new phase of life. She's got like old cases and kind of new betrayal is like dropped in and shaken up her world. I think her daughter is 11, 12. So obviously it's been quite a while since we have, because I think she shows up. Isn't she pregnant at the very, like in the,
if I remember correctly, yeah.
It's like an epilogue.
Yeah.
And it's not a surprise baby, guys. Don't get mad. It's not a surprise baby. It's not that kind of thing. But anyway, so clearly like 11, 12 years have passed. It does have like an atmosphere of tension and mistrust. We have a whole lot of mistrust, miscommunication, but I think it's purposeful miscommunication. So I wasn't mad at it this time because what do you and I hate?
The miscommunication trope.
100%. We keep reading it, but we hate it. But in this, it seems intentional on both parties' ends. So, like, I get it. And it lends to the story. Relationship is under strain again. So her and Bob are having relationship problems. Go figure. Legally and professionally, there's kind of like this mystery bubble kind of bubbling to the surface. And basically the past, what happened in the first book, just refuses to stay buried. It does have a lot of twists, in my opinion. Like, it's a twist-oriented book. Because as I said, I thought I had it figured out about halfway through. Also an easy read. It was 288 pages. And the tagline for the book is "Death till death do us part. Yours, not mine."
That's a very Jeneva thing to say.
Listen, this woman. So the way we found Jeneva, just to recap really quick, is for those of you that are chronically online, or maybe not chronically, but you're on there a decent amount. Jeneva and her husband Drew, past tense of draw, by the way, were the couple that she would turn on some of her old favorite movies, and they would like drink wine and watch them together in the evening, and she would record his reactions. And she blew up for his Twilight. Drew's like he gets into it, and it's so funny. So I highly recommend going and finding Drew and Jeneva on their TikTok. It's her TikTok, but he's on there a lot. They have a Facebook group that they're very active in. They are both hysterical. They just introduced a baby Rose to the family.
Yes.
And they got 2 adorable dogs who judge it. To me, it's like a great author to follow, even if you're, which I would say do read her work, but like even if you don't, like definitely follow them on social media. They're a lot of fun. But that's how we found them.
And I also say, if you want to sit, I have read.
No, I can't remember.
That was
our first Jeneva, but I think it was both of ours.
And after that, I really didn't want to read anything else, but
no,
I happened to get an access to an arc of Home is Where the Bodies Are.
I was so mad
before it came out, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a chance.
Yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's really good.
Bodies Are.
Yeah.
It was so much better.
Yeah, I was so mad at Bianca when she got that, because at this point I'd become like Jeneva Rose one click by fangirl. And I was like, what do you mean you got it? But in all actuality, and I will say
yeah, because after that,
that's the one I was gonna bring up. That's my favorite. And I think if you are new to Jeneva, you should start with either Home is Where the Bodies Are or One of Us is Dead. I would really like her to write more in the One of Us is Dead world, because I think that could continue, just like The Perfect Marriage. So I did enjoy this book. I'm trying to remember. What did I give it? I gave it, oh, I didn't mark my review on Goodreads yet. I think I gave it 3.5, 4 stars. It's on Fable. Goodreads isn't showing me. I've started using Goodreads less and less.
Same.
The only problem is like every now and then there's like a book I'll read and it's not on Fable yet. And it's like, dang it. So my numbers are a little skewed.
But Jeneva also writes not thriller books. She also writes like cutesy little romance.
She's only done one.
Well. I thought she had a couple.
She may have a couple by now, but she only has the It's a Date Again one.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, the newest one, I think, Dating After the End of the World. So she has 2 now.
Okay.
Yeah, she has 2. And I did recommend It's a Date. It was cute.
Have you read The Girl I Was?
That is I think that's.
Oh, okay.
I think that's like the only one I haven't read yet. Yeah. Because that one was redone recently because it was like a self-published.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought it was new.
It got picked up. No, it got picked up. So it's like an old one of hers. It's like one of her. I think it's her very first book, actually. I could be wrong about that, but it's like one of her first books, and it was like not traditionally published. It was like she published it on her own. Went through all that process, and when she started doing very well for herself, and she got like a full-on publisher and an agent and all that. I think she had an agent. Anyway, when she got all of that stuff, they took some of her old books and I don't know how much changes they made to them, but they like revamped them just a little bit, cleaned them up essentially, and traditionally published them.
Okay.
Put them back out there. So, but I will say I did really like The Perfect Divorce. It's not how I thought it was going to end. And I'll say, if you didn't like Sarah in the first book, you're still not going to like Sarah.
Well, were like all of that effort that Jeneva put in to like correct her legal mistakes, was it a lot better in this one?
Yes.
Okay.
She even, so remember how in the first book, we know for a fact, like I'm just going to spoil the first book, and I'm not going to spoil this book, but if you haven't read both, sorry, go read both. Be warned, I'm about to spoil things. So in the first book, we had that sheriff that he could have also been blamed, right? Like, yeah, they found out later, like it was, they're pretty sure he could have been blamed because he was also having a relationship with this girl, and he was kind of riding the line of what was right and wrong to do, especially when you're the sheriff. And that gets addressed in this book. You see the repercussions of his actions in this one pretty quickly too. And you meet the new sheriff, who at the time was just like a everyday deputy, who I can't remember him from book 1, but I think he was like one of the only ones that was like asking questions. And because he was kind of new to the force, they basically told him like, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. Let us do our job. And he is now the current day sheriff where the murder in book 1 took place.
Okay.
And so he is like trying to, and the old case gets brought back up for very specific reasons. And he's trying to right the wrongs of the old sheriff and like of everything. And Bob is still Bob. Bob's just Bob. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I did like their daughter. Like I said, she's like 11, 12. And I think she's done very well because she's like the only innocence. She's the only innocent in this entire book. Yeah. Like everyone, well, the new sheriff is pretty clean cut. And is like, if you do something wrong, you should be punished. But like, she's the only pure innocent person in this entire book. Because I'll just say there are people that like agree to do things for money. There's more murder. There's lying, a lot of lying. There is some corruption still, but it's addressed from the point of like, this is what happens. Like corruption happens. So that's where I do appreciate what Jeneva did, because in the first book there was corruption going on that clearly like everybody was like,
they were like, what?
Oh my God, I'm not doing it again. Listen, last time we talked about the first book, we ended up getting like, oh my God. Do you remember the comment I made, the discussion we had in that first book that unfortunately made that episode blow up like crazy?
I don't think so.
Oh my God. I'll refresh
What did you
really quick.
What did you say?
Do you remember?
Miranda, I'm just saying you say a lot of things.
I do say a lot of things. I know I do. That was the book where you were like, you were talking about, they mentioned the amount of male bodily fluids found on the victim or in the victim.
Yeah.
And you were like, how is that possible? And I was like, fun facts with Miranda. Male bodily fluids can stay inside someone for up to 7 days.
I remember that now.
Yes. And I was like, why is that episode doing so well? Heck yeah. Go Miranda and Bianca. And then it was like all these comments about like fun facts with Miranda. And I was like, oh, sorry. I was like so excited. I was like, yeah, Bianca and I made it. And then it was just because I talked about male bodily fluids staying inside the body.
Thank you for that educational lesson.
I mean, it is educational. Apparently, a lot of people didn't know that.
I didn't.
I learned it because I consume a lot of true crime. Straight up.
Goodness.
True
crime can technically be lumped in the mystery genre as well, but that's a discussion for another day.
It could, though. It could. I love true crime. I love it. I love it so much.
So, what did you rate this book?
Let me see. Let me see. Fable. What did I ask?
Because I'm assuming you liked it a lot more than I liked mine.
I did. And I really applaud Jeneva for. I don't know of too many authors that hear people's. I give it 4 stars.
Yeah. Okay.
And I do. I just have to say it again because, like, I don't know very many authors that listen to their readers and go, you know what? I hear you. I see you, and I want to make this better for you. I also appreciate that she didn't go back and rewrite. She didn't go, okay, well, I'm gonna revise it. I'm gonna publish a new like revised edition. Nope, don't change it. Hear what everybody has to say about how that, I mean, I think she even had like a lawyer message her and was like, hey, I'd like to give you some information on how.
Yeah, I remember that happening.
Yeah. So like a lawyer messaged her. She went and met with the police. Like I said, like she did all these things to fix it. And I just don't know of many authors that would be like, you're right, my bad. Yeah. I wasn't aware and I'll fix it. I'm going to fix it. So I'm going to give you a second book because I feel you deserve that.
Yeah.
So like,
I applaud her. Golf clap.
Yeah. So if you did enjoy The Perfect Marriage, then you're really going to appreciate this because you get to return to Sarah's world and kind of the consequences of what came before for all of those involved. If you like thrillers with the mess of like domestic drama, there's legal elements, definitely secrets from the past, then this is going to check like those bookmarks. If you prefer a kind of a slow burn or more character-driven, less twisty-heavy plot stories, you might find this one a bit intense. A little bit. I'm not going to because it's not, it jumps in straight off the bat with like, we're dealing with this again. Like, it goes straight into the problem, like immediately. It's like her and Bob are fighting immediately because of something that he's done. So she doesn't pump the brakes. I mean, how many pages? 288. You got to get the story told.
Sorry, can you hear me? My mic just went out.
No, I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
You're good.
I got an error message. I was like, no, what happened?
You're like, I can't die again. Yeah. In short, basically, Perfect Divorce, in my opinion, is a sharp mixture of all things suspense sequel. It will keep you guessing. I figured out some things. I did figure out some things. I was like, just because I had read the first one.
Yeah.
I will say though, it's very possible, in my opinion, that you could read this without having read the first one, because it does kind of talk about the things that happened, not in detail, but it's like, this is the thing that happened. This is why we're here. This is what's going on now. So I guess if you're like, well, you guys made the first one sound like crapola, I'm not doing it. That's okay. Just go to this one. It does get you invested in these characters' lives. For me, it hit the marks. Strong lead character, even though Sarah just she's not insufferable like yours was, but if you remember, like, she just makes you not want to like her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't like her. So yeah, 4 out of 5. There you go.
Well, see, and that's the difference is that I think in my book, you're supposed to feel a little bit for my character because of what she goes through. Like, she has a rough childhood and all that kind of stuff. But it just, like, it explains some things, but she's still a horrible person. I'm just like, I feel nothing towards you except hate. I do not like you as a person.
I will say that's kind of Sarah too. Like, I don't hate her because, like, there's a lot of times where you understand why she is doing what she's doing, but in the end, she's not a good person. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend she was in book 1 and that she became one in book 2. She's not. She's not. Jeneva could probably write a 3rd book and Sarah would still not be a good person. She's just not. So we have something in common with our books today. Yeah. Both of our main characters are horrible people.
Oh, goodness. Well, and in your treks halfway across the world and back, I know you've also done a little bit of shopping since you've been back home.
I shouldn't have, but yes, I did.
Well, to be fair, you haven't been in a Barnes & Noble in how many years?
Oh, my. Well, you purchased something for me from a Barnes & Noble, and I shopped online when we were in Germany because we had the military address that we could get American stuff. But as far as physically being in one, I don't think I've been in one since, well, probably 2019 or very early 2020, because once the pandemic happened, I really didn't do a whole lot of shopping. I wasn't like a scaredy cat person, for those of you wondering, but like I knew I was moving overseas and everybody was acting so weird about it that I tried to just like not get COVID because I didn't know if the country I was moving to at the time was going to be like, oh, well, you've had it. You can't come now. Like, I didn't know. Yeah. So I just didn't really go anywhere after a certain point. So yeah, probably 2019.
Okay.
Maybe early 2020. So 5 years.
The Barnes & Noble you went to, was it one of the new ones or is it still a Barnes & Noble?
This is, well, I don't know the difference. And I know how long it's been there, but I know what you're saying. Like,
so have you seen the new ones?
Oh, were they okay?
It's very sterile and gray and just, it doesn't feel like a bookstore to me.
Okay, so I have seen the new ones because we had a discussion about this. I've seen them on TikTok. So no, mine still seemed like the regular bookstore I remember because we don't have one in the town I grew up in. Shocker, it's a small town. It's really small. But next door to us, where I went to college in Bowling Green, we have a Barnes & Noble, and it's been there for a very long time. And I will say, I went in there. And I meant to text you this because I wanted to know at what point this happened. But I'm like walking along and it's like weird. I don't even know how to describe it. So I'm like walking through there and it's like, this is the YA. And so you go and then that shelf goes around a corner. So you go around the corner. But the corner's not YA anymore. But the back side of it is like, and it's like, so then the back side of it is YA, but the shelf attached to the YA shelf is something else. And then you scoot over to a totally another shelf. And I was like, what is this? It was like very disjointed.
They've created, so the concept was that they wanted to create a like mini shop for each of the genres.
But it didn't work that way.
Yeah. So like when you enter like an area, it's like a box with like an opening and you walk into the box and then that should be your genre. That was the theory behind it. But so like you said,
a couple of those. They had a couple of those where it was an actual box and it makes sense. There's 3 shelves, but there's no 4th shelf because it's the main opening. Yeah. And it'd be like 3 front facing shelves. And then the back sides were also shelves. But it's like, so if I walked into like the fiction box, for example, the problem is the back side of one was YA and the side was YA. One side was YA, but then directly across in the next box, those weren't all YA. And I'm like, and it broke it up. And then I was like, oh, that's all the manga they have. And it's like, no, we attached it to the other shelf. And I'm like, what? How do you, as a bookseller, how do you like return? Like, how do you put things on the shelves? Like that's got to be confusing. I didn't.
Which yours sounds more confusing than ours. Ours isn't really that bad, but I understand how it's confusing. And I don't know why it's been that way for a couple years now. And I'm just can we go back?
Next time I go, I'll Marco you and be like, okay, this is what because I know you know what I'm talking about, but I'll just show you like how disjointed it felt. Like, especially my first time being back, I just felt like very, very disjointed. This is also the first time I've been to a Barnes & Noble since they started doing the $5 cafe buy, because I don't remember that before. I really don't.
It's kind of recent.
Okay.
They've been doing it for a hot minute, though. I want to say they were doing it when you were here, but maybe they didn't.
Or maybe I just never liked what they had, so I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, maybe.
So I felt like I had pretty good restraint. I did rejoin the Barnes & Noble Club. I bought 3 books, and then I went to the cafe and got a coffee. My mom was having like a medical test procedure done, and they decided last minute, like, oh, you can't go back with her. And that's how I ended up at a Barnes & Noble.
Well, what did you pick up?
So I got Out There Screaming. It's an anthology of Black horror, and it was edited by Jordan Peele. And straight up bought it because it said it was edited by Jordan Peele. I was like, I know nothing. I will say there are some authors on the back that I have read their work before. So I was like, okay, that works for me. I know at least 3 of you, and it's edited by Jordan Peele. Haven't started it yet. And Bianca, guess what it does? Guess what kind of book it is?
Is it floppy?
It's floppy.
Yay, floppy.
Oh no, I love it so much. So I got that. And then I got Christina Henry, The House That Horror Built.
I'm guessing that's a horror book.
Yeah. Christina Henry is the one that she has rewritten a lot of, like, she rewrote Alice in Wonderland, Sleepy Hollow. Like, she does all of that. And she's the one that I got her version of, like, Alice in Wonderland. Well, it's like a retelling of. And like the first 2 pages made me so disturbed. I had to like lay it down and come back to it like weeks later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like right off the bat, a grape happens.
Oh, lovely.
Not visibly on the page, but they tell you it happened. And I was like, okay, not how I remember Alice, but okay. So I really like, but I do like her. I think she has a good way of storytelling that obviously very much immerses you. This is a single mother working in Gothic mansion of a reclusive horror director stumbles upon terrifying secrets in the captivating new novel and national bestseller of Good Girls Don't Die and The Horseman. So yeah, she's written some couple other things that I've liked. So I got that. And then I got from the cozy mystery section, because they have a cozy mystery section, I got Murder at the Holly House by Denzil Meyrick. Is that
Yorkshire. A Christmas cozy?
Yeah, it is. It's Yorkshire 1952. Christmas is approaching when a dead stranger is found lodged in the chimney of Holly House. So I was like, don't mind if I do. And then I did buy the $5.
Oh, I recognize that cover. It's been recommended to me.
Yeah, it has. It's actually a book that I've been wanting to buy, and then I saw it, and it's like the only one of them on the shelf, and I was like, you know what? Today's the day, buddy. Today's the day. I was also really excited about the $5 book this month because we are recording in the month of November. You still have time to make this your $5 book. I am not sponsored, but I would love to be. Just saying, Barnes & Noble. Yeah, I haven't physically been in a store until now, but Bianca and I have spent a lot of money, and she gave a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to you guys for a lot of years. I'm just saying, just putting that out there. You know,
blood is for real in that statement.
Listen, sweat and tears is for real in that statement too. Listen, I remember your Barnes days. It wasn't your, yeah. You had a love-hate relationship with that.
Yes, I did.
But this month's book is Murder Most Haunted by Emma Mason. It was also on my list of things I wanted to buy, and I mean, $5. And I looked. I think it's less than the Kindle version of this book right now.
And that's $5 if you buy something from the cafe.
Yeah, you do have to buy something from the cafe, which most people, I don't know. Every time I've gone to a Barnes, I get something at the cafe.
Same.
So like, and it's anything at the cafe. The girl was like, oh, even if you just walk up and is like, I want this cookie.
Yeah.
You just have to buy one item. Like, You can buy the cheapest item in there and you get it for $5.
Yeah.
I did get really excited. Side note, when I was in there, this adorable couple walked up to the girl at the counter asking about the $5 book. And he's like, my wife out of nowhere just recently got into reading. And he's like, she wants every book possible. And somebody told her about the $5 book. And I wanted to see what it was for her. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. That's so cute. And then bless his heart, she had ordered like a white chocolate something mocha and then walked away. And the lady set it on the counter and he looked at her and he was like, is this the white chocolate mocha? I don't know. I just buy coffee. And she was busy, so she didn't hear him. I was like, yes, that's going to be your wife's white chocolate mocha. He was like, I didn't know. I was like, they were so cute though. And I just love hearing people be like, you know, because you and I have been lifelong readers. Like we've always been readers. I get really excited when I hear somebody be like, oh yeah, I just really got into reading. And I'm like, oh yeah, welcome.
Welcome to the club.
Yes, you're going to love it here or hate it. I don't know. Sometimes we regret it. Because it costs a lot of money, but it could be drugs.
It could be drugs.
It could be, and it's not. So I bought 4. I mean, I feel like that was pretty good restraint for your first time back.
Yeah, you did good. You did good.
Yeah.
And you also went a little ham in the month of October with your reading. Is there any particular mentions there?
I will spare your fingers from having to list all of those out. Let me see. Let me just look at my little...
any honorable mentions. Because I was feeling good. I was feeling good about I don't remember if it was 6 or 7 that I read because I also had a long plane ride in October and I blew through 4 books.
Yes, you did.
On just the plane ride. That's not without any other reading. And I was like, yeah, I did so well. And then Miranda was like, look at mine. I was like, congratulations.
Well, I mean, think about it. I took a lot of planes, trains, and automobiles in the month of October.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a TV for a while. When the boat picked all my stuff up, it was like, you know, it was gone. I guess I'll talk about my first Freida, maybe. So I read my first Freida McFadden. I did enjoy it. I started with a boyfriend. A lot of people were like, ooh, I wouldn't have started there. But I don't regret it. I liked it. It reminded me kind of like the first Jeneva I read. Well, yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. And that's why I'm going to use it as my honorable mention today. Because there were some things that I was like, okay, well, that's just, don't think that's how that works. Like, you know, but it was also really cool because it actually ended up being not what or who I thought it was. Like the why, you know, there's always a why when there's a murder in these books or when there's a serial killer or whatever. And it's why. And the why was not what I thought at all. The who was also not what I thought. This book does jump back and forth from present day to past. One of the characters is in like high school. So it jumps back and forth between his present day and his past. And then you have current day of the other main character as well. And it actually was done. That was done to me pretty well. I know that a lot of people with Freida, she seems very controversial. It's like they love her or they hate her. Until recently with our friend Brittany, I had not really met anybody that was just like in between where she's like, I like some of her books, but I don't like the rest of them. Yeah. And since posting to TikTok, I have met a few more people that are like, actually, hey, I'm an in-betweener. I don't love everything she does. It seemed like before, and that was what kept me from reading her for so long, was that everybody was either like so into her or so against her that I was like, oh, that kind of is putting me where it gave me like fight or flight. I was like, never mind. But I wanted something different. And I felt I had a few friends that are like, okay, you really should give her a chance. You really should. I was like, well, I have nothing better to do right now. This would be a good time. And I was trying to do something that was spooky vibes-esque, you know? And I feel like mystery and thrillers, like while I read them all year long, they kind of do fit in the month of October.
Yeah, that is true.
So, yeah. And I'm now reading a second one of hers, which is apparently a brand new one, like just came out, called The Intruder. I got it because
most of her books are like the something.
Yeah.
You have
I bought The Intruder,
the housemaid, The Intruder.
Which you've done the housemaids, right? Yes.
I haven't read anything.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought you had. Oh yeah, this just came out October 7th, 2025, The Intruder. And I simply bought it because story for another time. Bianca, thankfully, was my keep me calm person, but we got stuck overnight while trying to move back to America. We got delayed and then delayed again and then rescheduled on a really bad flight that wasn't going to work, rescheduled again, stayed overnight. And I'm like, we have nothing with us. We have nothing. And the airline was like, go buy yourself some clothes, go buy yourself some books, whatever you need to get through the evening. So I, in fact, did. So I bought The Intruder. I was like, well, I said I wasn't going to do it. I told everybody on TikTok I wasn't going to do another Freida yet. But like, airport bookstores are smaller. It's like, well, this is what looks the best. This is what I'm buying to get me through the night.
And you made it through.
Yeah. That was horrible, but yeah.
I was just getting these long novels from you, and Brad would just like look at the text message. He's like, what else could she possibly say?
I was so frustrated. Listen, because I thought it would be rectified, and then it wasn't. And it's like another thing would happen. And Bianca's like the calm. Like everybody else, like I have a lot of other friends that would like just get me hyped up more and like matter. Like, you're right, you should complain. And Bianca's like, oh man, that's horrible. Like she's just,
I'm just letting you vent.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you did. And that's what I needed. And then Caden was like, do you feel better? I was like, yeah, I talked to Bianca. And he's like, he was struggling. He was really struggling too.
I can imagine. I would too.
At one point he ended up like just going and sitting and having like a very quiet autistic meltdown in the corner of the Amsterdam airport. I was like, you do what you need to, bro. I'm going to sit here and tell Bianca all the crap. We both had our version of like a freak out. Yeah. Well, did you buy anything? Because you told me earlier when I said I bought books I shouldn't have. And you said, well, preaching to the choir. So what did you buy?
So our local used bookstore, it's a nonprofit bookstore. It's called Open Books. They typically, they go to support prison libraries and reading programs in prisons. Mm-hmm. But they had a huge book sale a couple weeks ago, and it was directly benefiting a couple of different things. But like 95% of the books were only $1.
Yeah.
So I have a whole bag full.
Yeah, but it's for a good cause. They were only $1. So if you end up not reading them or not liking them and you donate them to like a free little library or something like that, it's not really a waste of your money.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And I already know I'm probably going to like all of them.
Well, I don't know how many you got, but like pick some of your favorites and tell us.
Oh, I'm just going to go through them all because they're all pretty popular, except for this first one. It's probably not popular. The Irresistible Blueberry Bake Shop and Cafe.
Oh, that sounds like something I would love.
I'm going to turn on my camera real quick just so you can see the cover of it.
Oh, I love it. Is it cozy?
It sounds so cozy. It's not floppy, though. I'm sorry. It's a regular book. And that was by Mary Simses. Next is A Curse So Dark and Lonely. This is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
I got the first 2 books in the Magnus Chase series by Rick Riordan.
Good choices.
I got The Starling House by Alex E. Harrow.
Very good choice. Very good choice.
I got The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab.
Haven't read it, but heard it's great.
I got Dry by Neil Shusterman. He writes YA horror.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about that. And the Stephanie Meyer book that I have not read, The Chemist.
It's so good.
I'm so excited. I was like, $1?
Like, I would reread that one because you were reading it. Like,
so those are everything that I acquired at that dollar book sale. Thank you very much, Open Books.
I feel like you actually showed a lot of restraint.
I put back like 3 books. I was like, I don't have room on my shelves. These need to go back.
But I also feel like when you get things for $1, it's like, okay, if I read it and then donate it to my library or a free little library or something like that, it's less of like a kick as buying like a $17 book and then being like, not that you can't donate $17 books. I know somebody's going to be like, that sounds callous. That's not what I mean. Like, it's like a lighter hit to the pocketbook. So to speak. So.
And then, like I said, I was also on planes in the month of October, so I read quite a bit. But really the only ones that I want to mention, I started reading the Ember in the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir.
Nice.
I am on the second one of that right now. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I don't know why I put this series off for so long.
I thought the first one was an arc so long ago that I would have to reread it, to be very honest with you.
It will scratch that fourth wing itch for you. If you ever have a fourth wing itch, like there's no dragons or anything like that. Like it's not in that vein, but it's got very much the same storytelling aspects and the same political things going on. So I would say if you want something that's in that realm, read Ember in the Ashes. Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross was the most beautifully written book I think I have ever read.
You really quickly became a fan of hers too.
The prose. Like y'all know I'm a skim reader. You don't want to skim read that book. It is just so beautifully written. I'm going to send this book to you, not because I didn't enjoy it, but I think you would enjoy it more than I did. But I'm going to send it with your Christmas present, by the way.
Okay.
But the Grimoire Grammar School Parent-Teacher Association by Caitlin Rozakis.
You don't have to send it, actually. I have a lovely sprayed edges version that I bought in Slovakia before, when I went on one of those book trips where you were like, Miranda, you're moving! I actually bought it and I haven't read it. It's on the boat. It's on the boat. Everything is on the boat.
It's a very Miranda book.
Yeah, I read the back and then I saw those edges and I was like, and I was, PTA president, PTA mom. I was big in that scene.
Yeah.
When my son was younger, so I was like, this sounds like a me book. I appreciate you want to give it to me, but I technically have a copy. So
okay. Well, if it gets lost on the boat, you can have my copy.
Listen, if it gets lost on the boat, that means everything got lost and we're going to have a crying session, an event session again.
And then the last one I will mention is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This ties for my favorite Emily Henry book with Book Lovers. It was so good. And I did not see the ending coming. There is a little bit of a twist and I was like, oh, yes. Because it's just a regular fiction book. There's like nothing sinister or anything going on in there. But there is a little bit of a twist. And I was like, oh, like I freaked out a little bit.
If you don't know anything about Bianca, you do need to know she is an Emily Henry stan.
Yeah.
I have not read any Emily Henry, and I feel bad. Like I want to. I just haven't.
Well, I borrowed this one from Libby because so a couple months ago, Barnes & Noble had a huge buy one, get one half off of their paperback sale. And I was like, well, I'm a hardcover girly, but none of Emily Henry's books, except for Great Big Beautiful Life, came out in hardcover.
Yeah, I always see them in the big paperback.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and buy them since they were on sale. So I got them all except for Great Big Beautiful Life. But I was like, I need to read this before it gets spoiled for me. Mm-hmm. It is like when Emily first announced this book, it was inspired by the song there it goes, The Last Great American Dynasty by Taylor Swift, but that is heavily, it's like a biography basically of a real life person,
right?
What's it called? The Last Great American Dynasty. What's her name?
You were telling me about it.
Rebecca Harkness. There we go.
Yes, yeah. You told me about this before, and I just couldn't remember.
Yeah. But Emily Henry is a Taylor Swift fan, and when she heard that song, she was like, "Ooh, I need to like look and see what the actual like story is." So when she started digging into Rebecca Harkness's life, I won't say it's not like a direct retelling of Rebecca's life or anything like that, but she did take elements of that and put it into this book, and I really appreciated it, and she pulled it off very well.
You know, I have noticed there seems to be a correlation. There seems to be a lot of authors that are big Taylor Swift fans.
It's because Taylor is a lyricist. She knows how to write.
I'll give her that. I give her that. The girl can write. I will give her that.
And like I said, I'm currently reading the second book in the Ember and Ashes series. It's called A Torch Against the Night.
Nice. I am still on my Dungeon Crawler Carl kick because some of those, when you get to the end, they are chunkers. So I'm working through those, and I'm doing more of the Tanya Kappas Criminals and Campers series because there's like 40 in that thing.
Yeah. I did recently hold a poll on our Insta stories being like, what should Bianca read next?
And I responded.
Yes, I saw. I gave everyone options. So my next read is going to be The Woman in Suite 11 by Ruth Ware, chosen by our lovely fans and listeners. So hopefully I'll get that done before we record next, and I can report back because it should be a sequel to The Woman in Cabin 10. Oh, yes. Which I meant to bring up. I did watch that adaptation. It came out a couple weeks ago. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So you highly recommend then?
Yeah. There are changes just to update it.
Of course.
Because it is a little bit of an older book, but I thought it was great.
Good. I will give it a try. You have any other books you want to mention this month?
No.
That's fine. So next month is December, and we have decided we're going to be doing retellings of A Christmas Carol. We haven't picked exactly which ones because I think we had talked about doing different ones. We may end up doing the same one. But if you have suggestions of your favorite retelling of A Christmas Carol, I'd love to share them when we record next month. And that includes if you want to tell us your favorite movie version of A Christmas Carol, because we're going to talk about that too. So let us know what yours is. And Bianca, where can the boys and girls at home find you on the socials if they would so choose to follow you?
You can find me at Style and Freak on Instagram and TikTok. You can also follow us as a podcast, Bells with Books Podcast, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Yeah.
Miranda is working on getting all of our past episodes uploaded. We're almost current. We should be current by the time this airs, I think you said.
We should be. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm dropping them like a few at a time. They're all there, but it's like not visible to everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should be current. No later than I'd say mid-December, we would be completely current.
Okay.
And in other news, we will be back on Spotify very shortly.
Yay!
It's taking me some work, and I've rectified the situation. We will actually be our own feed on Spotify. We are still part of, we are still part of Place to Be Nation, because for those of you that don't know, I am part owner of Place to Be Nation Pop Experience. So we are not leaving the Pop family. We're not going anywhere because this is my baby. This is my pet project. But the outcome of the situation that we ran into with Spotify is for me to put bells in their own feed. So if you get confused, nope, we're not leaving PTBN. We are still part of the family and will continue to be for forever. But we are going to have to be in our own feed just in that location. So if you're listening to this and you're like, that doesn't affect me, I listen to you over here, great, keep listening to us there. But if it did affect you and you're like, I want you back on Spotify, we'll be there shortly.
And don't forget to follow Miranda at Mom's a Nerd. Pretty much anywhere she'll pop up. Miranda, you've really upped her TikTok game, and I'm very envious, and I congratulate you. Golf clap on that.
Thank you. Listen, I'm going to just say, every time I put deep thought into making a TikTok, it goes nowhere. Like, I recorded stuff this weekend from like the tattoo convention and stuff, and my numbers are so low. And then I record something silly, I intended to record when we went on that like ghost investigation, but like 14,000 of you were like, hey, I want to see this girl go on a ghost hunt. What? And then like 2,000 of you want to watch me talk about the shit I found in my mom's kitchen drawers.
That was hilarious.
By the way, for those of you that have seen it, I will just go ahead and tell you, it actually is not my mother. Apparently, these were on like mega clearance for like $0.25 a piece. My brother's a big griller, and he was like, oh yeah, grab those for me. And so she bought the 7, the 2 that make it 9 are hers. Like the 2 big ones, those are hers. And we had used them. The 7 that still have the tags on them, my brother said, could you please get those for me? And then he never took them to his home. So they migrate from drawer to drawer. But 9 basting brushes, boys and girls. The thing, but like
I was just crying watching that.
I know. All of you have been like, Miranda, I couldn't breathe. And I was like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. Like, but that's the kind of stuff that people are like here for. And I get followers off of that stuff. But then I put deep thought into something. And I'm like, I'm going to record this B-roll all weekend long and like make this video. People are like, nah.
It's the algorithm. We have to blame the algorithm.
You know what? I guess so. But you know what? Whatever. So for this month, that's the end of our case, boys and girls. Our mystery is sort of solved. Our women sucked, basically.
Yeah.
At least for this month's episode, at least. But thank you for listening and sharing your bookish curiosity with us. Don't forget, as Bianca said, to check out our recent reads and acquisitions list, because she does compile a full list of all the books discussed in every show notes that there is. So you never have to worry about like, oh, I'm driving and I can't write that down. Don't worry. All those wonderful page turners that we've shared with you that we're loving, or maybe we don't love, are in our show notes, and you can find them all there. So until next time, thank you for listening. You're welcome for talking, and always keep reading.